I never imagined those words would come from my wife's mouth. "You're terrible in bed, Michael," she said, her tone cold and deliberate, her arms crossed like a judge delivering a final sentence. We'd been married for 5 years, and not once had she ever spoken to me that way. I just stood there, motionless, feeling as if the very ground beneath our marriage had split open. It all began over something small, a simple argument about chores. Lauren was irritated that I hadn't folded the laundry after getting home from work. I was exhausted that night, drained after teaching late classes at the community college in Boise, Idaho. I told her I'd handle it in the morning, but somehow that minor issue spiraled into something uglier. Her tone shifted from annoyed to sharp, dissecting every flaw she could find. How I forgot to take out the trash. How I never planned date nights anymore. How I wasn't the attentive husband I used to be. Then she dropped the bomb. "You're bad in bed." The air seemed to vanish from the room. My chest tightened, my hands went numb. It wasn't just an insult, it was humiliation. The kind that cuts deeper because it comes from the one person who's supposed to see every part of you, flaws and all, and still protect you. I forced out a bitter laugh, desperate to hide the sting. "Really, Lauren? That's where you're going now?" Her lips curved into a mocking smile. "I'm just being honest. Maybe if you stopped being so predictable, I wouldn't feel like I was missing something." Anger flared inside me. I wanted to shout, to call her out for how cruel she was being. But before I could, another voice broke through the tension. "That's not true." We both froze. It was Sophia, her best friend, standing in the doorway. She had come over earlier for wine and must have overheard everything. Her arms were folded, eyes locked on Lauren with quiet fury. "Don't lie to him like that," Sophia said, her voice steady but edged with steel. "You and I both know he's not the problem here." Lauren's face went pale, then flushed crimson. She turned sharply toward Sophia, her expression a mix of disbelief and rage. "What did you just say?" Her voice trembled, half anger, half panic. "You have no right." But Sophia didn't back down. "No right. You just tried to humiliate your husband for no reason. I've heard you brag about how passionate things are between you two. Don't pretend you've been suffering." My mouth fell open. I didn't know what shocked me more, Sophia stepping in to defend me or the fact that Lauren had once spoken positively about our intimacy to her friend. Lauren's lips quivered, her composure unraveling. "Shut up, Sophia," she hissed. I stayed frozen on the couch, caught between wanting to vanish and needing to demand the truth. The tension in the room thickened until it felt hard to breathe. Lauren's hands trembled as she grabbed a glass from the coffee table and slammed it down, the sound shattering the fragile silence. "Why are you even saying this, Sophia? What are you trying to pull?" Sophia gave a short, humorless laugh. "What am I trying to pull? Maybe I'm just sick of watching you tear apart a man who actually cares about you. You push him away, then punish him for it. You humiliate him to cover up your own conscience." "Conscience?" I finally spoke, my voice low and uncertain. "What do you mean by that?" Lauren turned toward me, her eyes darting nervously, like a cornered animal searching for an escape. She opened her mouth but couldn't get a word out. Sophia stepped in again, her voice firm, almost trembling with contained anger. "She's been messaging another man, Michael. I've seen the texts. I didn't want to interfere, but after hearing her attack you like that, I couldn't stay quiet anymore." The room spun. My heartbeat pounded in my ears as if the world had suddenly tilted off its axis. I stared at Lauren, my wife, my partner, the person I thought I knew better than anyone. "Is that true?" I asked, my words shaky. Her skin turned ghostly pale, her confidence vanishing. "It's not what you think," she whispered, her voice barely audible. Sophia frowned, disgust clear in her expression. "Don't lie again, Lauren. He deserves honesty. You've been destroying him to mask your own betrayal. That's what this whole act has been about, isn't it?" Lauren's lips moved, but nothing came out. The silence that followed was louder than any confession could have been. Seconds dragged into an eternity. The walls seemed to close in on me as the weight of everything crashed down. The woman I believed in, the one I trusted with my heart, couldn't even meet my eyes. That silence told me everything. "Lauren," I said finally, my voice breaking, "after everything we've survived together, why?" Her eyes filled with tears, but they weren't tears of regret. They were the tears of someone who'd been caught. "I didn't plan it," she stammered, her voice quivering. "He just made me feel wanted. I never stopped loving you, I just—" "Stop!" I cut her off sharply. The word echoed through the living room like a final judgment. My chest tightened, but I forced myself to keep breathing. "You humiliated me. Told me I wasn't enough. And all this time it was because you couldn't face what you were doing. Do you even realize what you've done to me?" Lauren reached out, but I stepped back before she could touch me. The thought of her hand on mine made my skin crawl. She looked toward Sophia for help, but Sophia's expression had turned to stone. "I'm finished covering for you," she said, her voice steady but cold. "You hurt him to protect yourself. If you really loved him, you wouldn't have destroyed his trust just to keep your pride intact." For the first time since I'd known her, Lauren looked small, cornered, stripped of her defenses. The same woman who once wielded her words like blades now sat trembling and speechless. I rose slowly, my hands unsteady, my heart torn between devastation and a strange, newfound clarity. "I don't know what comes next," I said quietly, "but I know our marriage can't survive on lies. I won't keep letting you make me feel worthless because of your choices." Lauren's sobs broke the silence, but I didn't stay to listen. I turned and walked toward the door, my steps heavy, though my mind felt strangely still. Sophia gave me a small nod as I passed, one of quiet solidarity. That night marked the end of what I once believed was unbreakable. The pain burned deep, but beneath it, something stronger began to form. A sense of resolve. Lauren's betrayal had destroyed me, but in its wake, it also freed me. For the first time in years, I felt the ground firm beneath my feet, ready to begin again, without her shadow darkening the path ahead.